Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa-salatu wa-salamu ala rasulihil kareem. So in our previous videos we have talked about how science and religion are different from each other and how we should avoid comparing religion and science because of the fact that religion is the fundamental beliefs in religion are static, whereas science keeps on changing. However, the overall attitude of science is to understand the complexity of the universe, and the complexity implies the existence of a creator. And I've given different arguments in my previous videos. So now I want to talk about how these two are similar, how science and religion are similar in some ways, right? And in particular, I'm just going to talk about one approach in which they're similar. So if we look at the attitude of science and religion, right, they both have standards where everyone can go back and check whether their claim is correct or not, right? So for example, if you develop a scientific theory, right, we have to always test that theory because the universe is a standard, right? Our observations, nature, right, in particular, our standards, our observations are limited by, by experiments, by the limitations of experiments, but nature is static. So nature is our standard, and the channel between us and nature is our theories and the experiments that we perform. And our theories keep on evolving and the experiments keep on evolving. But the thing that is static in science is nature, right? And so there's a standard that we always check our theories with. And this is how science is similar to religion. I know what I'm claiming over here, you probably have never heard this argument. But again, I've thought over this. It's been a while, and I've been thinking about this. And if you don't agree with this, you're free to counter argue with me. But again, the things I'm going to say, it's difficult to negate that as a scientist or as a religious person, right? So in religion also, scripture is the standard, right? Now, obviously, you can debate on whether something is authentic or not, but there is always a standard, right? So it is incorrect to say that people don't use their intellect in religion. If you look at the history of Islam, also there is a whole there's a whole section of there's a whole field in Islam called Ilmul Kalam, right? And in which our scholars have logically laid foundations of our fundamental beliefs, right? And you always, you take any verse of the Quran, or a hadith. There are logical arguments that scholars give. But anyways, there is a standard, right? Our standards are the scriptures, the Quran, and the hadith. In any religion, there is a standard, right? And that standard is gonna be the thing that we check our intellect through, right? So if I say something in that has implications for religion, we always have to go back and check whether what I've claimed is in accordance with the fundamental beliefs of the religion, right? The same way the scientific approach is similar. Whenever as Feynman said, when his famous lecture on quantum electrodynamics, it's on YouTube, you can go and watch it, that if you don't like it, go home, right? And this is a typical scientist approach, right? Approach of a scientist that for them the nature is standard, right? And any theory you give, you have to make sure that that nature endorses that theory. Otherwise, your theory is just philosophy, right? Yeah, any theory is a philosophical possibility, but what makes it correct in science is that it is testable and it can be tested to check whether it agrees with nature or not. So again, that standard, and in religion, scripture is the standard. And but obviously there are different religions. Every religion has their own scripture, but that opens up a different, that's a different debate whether you think your scripture is right or not. But anyways, when you're in a particular ecosystem in a religion, you think you have a standard, and you always match your intellect with that standard, similar to what a scientist does. So this is how religion and science are similar, and I've talked about again the ways they're different. So this was the point that I want to make. You're free to counter argue. I would be happy to hear counter arguments to this claim. But thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.